Hey guys, Ike here from Mike'sOutdoors.com. If you've been following us on Facebook, you've heard me talk about some of the videos that we've got coming up this year. The one that I'm going to start with is my used bow build. Now this is going to be a series of videos, and what we're going to do with this is we're going to use everything that I can get my hands on, top of the line gear that's used, and we're going to make this the best equipment that I can possibly get, and at the most reasonable price that I can get it at. What you can do now, you can buy these bows and this equipment used on eBay, on Archery Talk, on maybe even on Amazon, I don't know. But you can buy this stuff through Facebook pages. You know, there's one that I'm part of called Archery Buy, Sell, and Trade. You can buy this used gear all over the place, and you can get a really, really good deal on it. The thing with a lot of this used gear is it really doesn't change from year to year. Most of this stuff, they may lighten it up a little bit. They may change the riser on some bows. They may change the geometry on the cams a little bit. But bows that are 2 or 3 years old really aren't that different, or any gear like for archery really isn't that different from stuff that's brand new, except the price tag. So what I've got here is I've got a used bow. I've got all used equipment, and what we're going to do is we're going to build this bow from the ground up. You can see this bow is completely bare. It doesn't even have a string loop on it. No strings. Look like I need a little bit of wax put on. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you what to look for when you're buying a used bow. We're going to show you how to set this bow up. We're going to show you how to put the rest on, how to put the sight on, how to put the quiver on. We're going to show you how to put the stabilizer on, how to pick the stabilizer, how to put the D-loop on, how to put the peep sight in here. We're going to show you everything you need to know to set this used bow up, to buy this used bow, and to set this bow up and get it ready to hunt or shoot 3D. And like I said, everything that we're going to use is going to be used. So you're going to be able to get a pretty good deal on this stuff. Probably going to spend about half of what you would if you went out and bought all this stuff brand new. So right here off the first, we're going to go is we're going to show you what we're going to use in this series. What I've got here is a Hoyt Spider Turbo. This is a 2014 model, and you can see it is in really, really good shape. This bow is in excellent shape. So I picked this bow up for 450 bucks. You can pick them up on eBay and Archery Talk for $400 to $500. So that's about half the cost of what this was brand new. Brand new, this bow was a $1,000 bow. So we got about 50% off right there from the bow. So that's what the bow we're going to use. Now the stabilizer, it may change depending on the balance that I feel on this bow. I haven't really shot it yet, and we'll kind of get into that as we get going. But I bought a Bee Stinger, which is a stabilizer I've never used before, but I've always been kind of interested in them. And I picked this Bee Stinger up for 50 bucks. So right now I'm into this thing for 500 bucks. Next, I picked up a Ripcord Code Red, and you can see I'm going to have to redo the cord on this. I'm going to have to rebuild this ripcord. So it was a little bit cheaper than normal by picking that up. So I picked this up for 35 bucks. Normally these things, I don't even know what these things run new, 75 to 100 bucks. So I picked this up for 35 bucks. Now I'm going to have to rebuild it, but we're going to show you how to do that too, so you can do it. If you have to rebuild one of these, you can do that as well. We're also going to show you how to set this up, tune it and everything like that. So right now we're up to 535 bucks. I'm horrible with math, so we're going to get lost along the way. The next thing that I picked up was a G5 quiver. This is a G5 headlock. I've used these quivers in the past, and this is a really good quiver. It's also really cheap, so I picked this up for 35 bucks. So we're now to 570 bucks, right? 35 plus 35, 70. 570 bucks. And last but not least, I picked up one of my favorite sights for, I don't even know what I picked up from the price, but I picked up one of my favorite sights. I got kind of off track there. Picked up one of my favorite sights, which is the Trophy Taker React 5. Now this is one of the older sights. So this one is not the Pro. It has the larger body on it. It has the dovetails that are a little bit looser, but it's still a fantastic sight. Still an absolutely great sight. So pick this up for 75 bucks as well. So we're at 570 plus another 75. So we're at $645 for the whole setup. Now that's not including arrows, but you can pick up a dozen brand new arrows from Deer Crossing for about another $50 to $75, depending on what you want. If you go with something real fancy, it may end up costing you $100. So max maybe $100, so we're at $740 total if you go with the best arrows that you can get. So $740 into a setup with like this, with all gear that's top of the line gear, that's a couple years old, that's used. So we're going to be in at about half of what the bows that I've got hanging over here. Actually, I've got more than $1,400 in most of these bows. I've got about $2,000 in that Bowtech sitting up there. So this is going to save you a significant amount of money doing this. So we're going to start out, when we do this series, we're going to start out with what to look for when you're buying the used bow, and then we're going to progress to putting the D-loop on it, setting up the rest, the peep sight and stuff like that. Now you're going to need some tools for this. There's some stuff that you're going to be able to do with just a simple set of Allen wrenches. There's some stuff that you're going to have a bow press to do. So we're going to show you step by step how to do this. Some of the stuff you may have to take to a bow shop and have them press for you and have them do for you. But there's a lot of this stuff with tuning and things like that that you can do yourself. So we're going to focus on just this series. There may be a few random videos here or there, but we're going to update this series once a week until we get this bow completely done. So check back with us on that. We try to launch these about every Thursday morning. I try to put these up. I edit them Wednesday night and try to put them up Thursday morning. Now there is one thing that I want to talk about on this that I don't buy used, and that's arrows. I've bought some used arrows in the past, and you save a little bit of money doing it that way, but you don't know what kind of treatment those arrows have had. And you can get them in, you can flex them and things like that, and those arrows may be fine when you get them in. But I actually bought a set a few years back, and I shot them. I flexed them when I got them in. No cracks, no noise. They were fine. I shot them for a few days. After 2 or 3 days of shooting them, I had one blow up as it was coming out of my bow. And it actually, I had shrapnel from the carbon in my forearm, and luckily this arrow actually vaporized rather than just breaking. It was like a cloud of black in front of my face. And I had carbon just shrapnel in my face, my forearm, my hand, all over my bow. The arrow just had a weak spot in it, and it just blew up. Now I don't know that that was because it was used, but that was the only time I've ever had it happen, and it was on a used arrow. I don't think the arrow had I think it was the knock. I think the knock had broke, and I didn't know it. And when I shot it, all the transfer went through the back of the carbon, and it just vaporized the back of the carbon. Because the front, all 3/4 of the arrow, half the arrow was fine. It was the back that just had vaporized. So I steer away from used arrows, and one of the main reasons I steer away from used arrows is because of that. But the other reason also is because of companies like Deer Crossing and some of these other companies out there who offer such good arrows at such a good price. And Deer Crossing's there's a ton of other companies out there. I know Victory makes stuff like the Buckbuster, Gold Tip makes the Hunter or whatever, but there's a ton of companies out there that make a really good low quality, not a low quality, high quality arrow, but it's going to have low qualities on its specs, as far as instead of being .001 straight, it's going to be .006. And the grain tolerance, instead of being plus or minus 3 grains, is going to be plus or minus 5 grains. And things like that. That's the only difference in those and the upper end arrows. And you'll buy those arrows for 1/3 of what you'd buy the high end arrows, like the Deer Crossing Hunter arrows versus the Deer Crossing SD arrows are quite a bit cheaper. The Deer Crossing Hunter arrows, I think, and I'm using Deer Crossing just because I buy their stuff. I'm not, you guys buy whatever you want to. I don't want you to think I'm some NASCAR driver out here trying to get you to buy Deer Crossing, but that's what I know the prices on. My Deer Crossing SDs are about $140 for a dozen of them, all fletched and ready to go. The Hunter models are $60, something like that. So you can save quite a bit of money by going with the lower quality shaft, and they're still going to work fantastic for hunting, and they're going to provide you with a good, durable, quality arrow. Where with used arrows, you're kind of taking a gamble if you don't know what's been done to them before. So that's my stance on used arrows, and that's why you won't see me doing used arrows. So be sure to check back with us. We're going to build this bow from bare bow all the way up to ready to shoot, ready to do 3D, ready to go hunting. And I'm actually going to take this bow on a hog hunt. We're doing a hog hunt here in just a few weeks, so I'm going to be taking this bow on that hog hunt. So be sure to check back every week and get updates on these videos. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share these videos. That really does help us out, guys. Anytime you like, subscribe, or share, that helps us out and helps us to continue to be able to make these videos. Please be sure to check us out on social media, Facebook, Instagram, under Ike's Outdoors. Appreciate you guys watching.